Hello everyone, my name is Sumit and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a digital chess coach and today I'm going to show you a very easy to play line in the CaroKann, which I played recently in a weekend tournament. And I'm playing the CaroKann for the first time and I like this idea actually. So the line goes like this: e4, c6, d4, d5. Now we have many continuations like the advanced variation is there, the exchange variation, the fan of attack. But traditionally, a lot of players will play knight to c3, which is considered the main line. D takes e4, knight takes e4, and instead of bishop f5, which is the main line in this, or knight d7, which is the Karpov variation, bishop bishop f5 is the main line. But there is another move, knight d7, which is the Karpov variation. But I suggest you to play knight f6, which is very popular in recent games. The idea is if knight takes f6, you take with the e pawn, e takes f6. And this structure is very easy to play. And whatever white does, your moves are the same. And these double pawns actually protects the king when white castles on the king side. So white doesn't know the theory. He will play knight to f3 or h3 or bishop e2. But the main line is c3 actually. But whatever white plays, let's say he plays knight f3, you play bishop d6. Bishop always goes to d6. And if you play something like bishop e2, you can castle. And if white short castles, this line is actually quite harmless. You can play either bishop to g4 or probably start with rook e8, putting pressure on the e file. And let's say if they play c4, you put the knight on d7. So knight always goes to d7 and to f8 to protect the king. For example, let's say they play h3, you go to knight f8, and this way your king side is safe, and you develop your bishop to f5 or e6, and queen to d7, rook to d8, and it's a very easy to play setup. The main move here is actually not knight f3, but c3. But your moves remain the same: bishop d6. They'll play bishop d3, castle. They'll play queen c2, check, rook e8, check, knight e2, and here you can play h5 even. This is also a playable move. Bishop e3, knight d7, knight always goes to d7, and f8. Black black's position is safe. White can either castle short or long. If they castle short, you can even play h4 and h3, weakening up the light squares on the white's king side. And if they castle long, you can put your knight on f8 and try to attack the king by playing b5. And a lot of attacking possibilities are there: b5, a5, and or queen a5. So it will be a double-edged position. So this is a very easy to play opening. And now I'll show you one of my games I played yesterday, which is a weekend tournament. It was a rapid tournament, 15 minutes plus 5-second increment, and I actually really love this game. So let's see this game so that you'll get an idea about this opening. White play d4, c6, d4, d5. I'm playing with the black pieces. Knight c3, d takes c4, knight takes c4, knight f6, the Tartakower variation, which I discussed with you. Knight takes f6 and d takes f6. Here, g takes f6 is also possible, which is called the Bronstein variation. h3, this is actually a mistake and a loss of time. Bishop d6, knight f3. Actually, the idea of h3 was to prevent bishop g4, but it was not necessary. Castle, bishop e2, rook e8. So let's see this setup very closely. Our moves are all almost the same, and that is the beauty of this setup. You put your rook on the open file. You follow the chess principles and you'll be completely fine in these kind of positions. Castle, knight d7. Knight always goes to d7. And c4, white is trying to occupy the center. Knight f8. So knight protects a lot of squares on the king side, and later it can go to g6 and f4. b3, white wants to develop his bishop to b2, putting more pressure on the center, but it is a very harmless idea because the bishop doesn't have much scope. He actually needs to break by playing d5, but it will be hitting a wall because there is a pawn on f6, and I don't think bishop belongs to b2. Knight g6, bishop d3, and bishop e6. Rook e1, queen d7. Look at how harmoniously black is developing his pieces. His two bishops are developed at e6 and d6. His queen is developed, the rooks are connected, and now he's ready for action. Bishop b2, knight f4, hitting the bishop, bishop f8, and bishop f5. Very important move. All black's pieces are very active, and white's pieces are passive. Bishop is on f8, other bishop is on b2, which is hitting a wall. And white doesn't have a middle game plan, I would say. But black's knight is very dangerous. Black's bishop is placed very dangerously. Rook e8, again a mistake. Now black occupies the e file. g4. And now this loses by force. Bishop takes g4, which is a very easy move to find. H take g4, and now it is mate in 6 moves. Queen g4 check, and king h8. Now here you have to pause the video and trying to find the refutation for this idea which wins for black on the spot. If you had found rook e1, outstanding move. You are a tactical genius. If queen takes e1, he played queen takes e1, and after a few checks, white got checkmated. Knight e2, very, very important move. Deflecting or clearing the path for the bishop. Bishop to e2, queen h2 check, king f1, and queen h8 mate. But if white takes the rook with the knight, again it is checkmate by force. Queen h4 check, king g1, knight e2 check, bishop e2, queen h2 check, king h1, and queen h1 is checkmate. So I hope you enjoyed this idea and this game and this video. And if you like this video, please consider sharing it with your friends, giving a like to the video, and do comment, and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.